Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm really pleased by the previous speaker's acknowledgement that the legislature has a constitutional obligation to pass laws in regards to the health and welfare of the people of this state. I wish they would also look to see that the powers of the state are vested into a House and a Senate. Powers that we have to pass legislation that have been thoroughly abrogated by the current administration, appallingly abrogated. The very problem that this legislation seeks to address is that abrogation, is that emasculation, is that neutering that has happened to the legislature. The previous speakers denounce what they see as a lack of action, 200 some days of lack of action here, but do nothing to address how powerless we actually are. Powerless to do anything, powerless to do our constitutional duty. They acknowledge that it's our job, but they ignore that the actions they're condoning, done by the administration, are only allowed to be done by the administration because the legislature passed laws allowing that. Some legislature in the past said, oh, no big deal, let the governor handle that. We'll never need to be involved again. Well, that's where we're at. That's why we're trying to get involved. That's why we want to be part of the process. And meanwhile, I constantly hear how upsetting it is that there's such a uprising amongst the countryside and lack of civility and anger and hostility and not accepting responsibility and not accepting that we're trying to do what's best for you. We just care about you. We just want to save everybody's life. And people are mad that how come these people out there, those hicks and the sticks, aren't paying attention to that? We care about them. But we live in a society that is based on the consent of the governed, one that is built on a foundation that when we have disputes, when we don't know what we should do, we don't just let one person make the decisions for us. We come here, we elect people to come here and represent us and have the discussions, have the debate, have the votes, and let the majority opinion run the day. And you know what? The majority is not always right. Sometimes the majority is dead wrong and makes stupid decisions, and yet that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have that, and with the current administration's interpretation of laws that this legislature of the past said was okay, we can't do that. Every time we try to edge in, veto. Not going to do it. Can't have that. I don't like it. And we wonder why people are angry, because they don't know whether they're in the majority opinion or the minority opinion because they don't get a chance to voice their opinion. One person makes the decisions. Here is our chance to reassert some sort of opportunity for the real democratic process to work here, instead of one person. Look, I'm okay with the 1976 law. I'm okay with what this says. Look, there's emergencies happen. The legislature can't get here within enough time. Things need to be done for that first month. But this has been 10 blooming months. And we still get left to the sideline. We get a little meeting once in a while. Oh, I heard what you had to say. Thanks anyway. It's revolting. It's appalling. We have a leader who has literally said, I will not give up any of my power. Is that what this nation is founded on? Executives who refuse to give up power? That's not what I heard from George Washington. I ask for your support. Thank you, Mr. President, and I'd like my remarks printed in the Journal.